Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to your apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath. And Shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst the heathen nations and look like these heathens. Now, this lesson is going to be based on this Kenya school dormitory fire that resulted in 16 students getting killed. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. It says a fire tore through a dormitory at a girls' school in a town in Kenya's Rift Valley overnight, killing 16 students, the government said on Thursday. The fire, whose cause has not been established, broke out just after midnight at the Itamishi Girls Academy Senior School in Gilgil in west central Kenya and burned for more than 2 hours, educator Minister Julius Migos told reporters. He said 79 other students were injured, although 71 of them had already been discharged from the hospital. Footage aired on Kenyan television showed broken window panes and smoke-stained walls, while family members gathered outside the school gates to seek news of missing loved ones. Fires are common at Kenyan schools, with more than 100 recorded in 2024, according to the government. Many fires are set by students protesting harsh discipline and poor conditions, researchers have found. Investigations are ongoing, but the identification of the cause of the fire is not yet identified. A fire in 2024 at a primary boarding school in nearby Nyeri County killed 21 students. Its cause was never conclusively established. The fire started from an upper dome and spread all over within that time. Eunice Marathi, whose daughter escaped the fire, told the NTV television station, referring to part of the school's structure, that it had barricaded a part of the dome to one side, and to the other side the students were unable to come out, but a lot of them were able to escape. In the worst school fire of recent times, 67 schoolboys were killed in 2001 at Kayanguli Secondary School outside Nairobi, an incident the authorities attributed to arson. Yeah, so a lot of fires, man. Just through the Spirit, like I've been saying. Psalms 9:16. The Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Selah. And that fire was judgment from the Lord. Salakia. Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. And that's what the Lord sent upon that school, was a flame of devouring fire, which resulted in 16 people being killed, and a couple more, like they said, like 70 or something, being injured. Psalm 79:6. Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. And that's exactly what happened in this particular case. The Lord poured out his wrath upon those people via fire. And the Lord does it with storms and tempests. He does it with earthquakes, famines, pestilences, all kinds of ways in which the Lord pours out his wrath upon wicked people with whom he is angry with. Psalm 7 and 11, Yahweh judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. And that's right, wicked men, wicked women, and wicked children all over the world get judged by the Lord daily. Sometimes just being injured, and other times being killed. Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Verse 29. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Verse 30. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. And the Lord used that spirit of vengeance, that fire, to put to death those 16 girls at that school. That was not an accident. That was the judgment of the Lord being made manifest. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And through his judgment, through that fire, the Lord killed a couple of girls and wounded several more. And there was nothing that could have been done to save those girls who died. There was nothing and no one that could have delivered them out of the hand of the Lord. That's why in Hebrews 10 and 31 it says it is a fearful thing to fall into the hand of the living power. 1 Samuel 2 and 6. The Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Yeah, so the credit goes to the Lord. He's the one who killed those girls. He's the one who brought that judgment upon them that resulted in their death. And there's going to be a lot more devastating, deadly fires that are going to happen in these last days. And a lot more people, a lot more wicked people who are going to die. Job 4 and 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And the answer is that nobody has perished being innocent, nor were the righteous ever cut off. So those girls were not innocent. They were wicked in the eyes of the Lord, and the Lord brought a heavy judgment upon them. Verse 8, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And we are living in the days of vengeance, like it says in Luke 21 and 22. It says, for these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. And the Lord visiting with a flame of devouring fire, and his fiery spirits of vengeance is something that's written and it's clearly being fulfilled. Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 2, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. And for those 16 girls, it was their time to die. That's why they're the ones who perished as a result of that fire, while the other ones were able to escape, albeit with some injuries. That is the wrath of the Lord. And that's what people don't understand. Judgments like this are the Lord's wrath being put on display. This is him visiting this world and visiting these wicked people and punishing them for provoking him unto wrath. And I know there's going to be some people that will be like, they were little girls out of school. What could they have done to anger the Lord? Well, we don't know. But like I read in Job 4 and 7, says, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent. So if those little girls were innocent, the Lord would not have killed them. But they're not innocent, or they weren't innocent. And whatever they did, they got punished for it by the Lord. Whether it was in this life that they did the wickedness, or they did wickedness in a past life and the Lord was judging them for it early on in this life. Which, that goes into reincarnation, which goes over the head of most people, because for most people, the Lord has not put the spirit of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding upon them or within them. But for those of us of the hopeful elect, who have been blessed with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures, we know that judgments like this are not random, and they're not an accident. This is the Lord punishing wicked people, and he's going to continue to do this all throughout the world in many different forms in these last days that we're living in. Like it says in James 4 and 9, be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness. A lot of people all over the world are going to be mourning as the Lord brings more death and destruction and many great miseries upon them and their loved ones. And this is why we say that all you sincere brothers and sisters should stay circumspect and continue to watch, because the Lord is always making moves. He's always bringing forth judgments every single day. 24/7, 365, the Lord is bringing judgments. It is never a dull moment. There's always something happening. And those of us of the hopeful elect, we got to stay locked in to this truth, and we got to stay prayed up and hope that we are, or that we have been chosen from the foundation of the world to endure unto the end and be saved, because we don't want to die the death of these wicked people with whom the Lord is angry with. And clearly, from these type of judgments, the Lord is very angry. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, the Wadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath, which are the sincere sisters. And shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathens. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up in Adawan Ratazah, which means Lord's will. Until next time, shalom.